Okay.
It's 6 o'clock and the meeting will now begin.
So the first item on the agenda this evening is approval of the June 8th, 2026 meeting minutes. The minutes were passed or handed to the members ahead of time so that they had an opportunity to review. Steve, do you have your copies on the back ledge if people want to review? No?
Forgot about setting them out.
No, you're fine. There will be minutes at the back if anybody wants to glance at the minutes from the last meeting as well. Steve, I can put them back there too if you just want to hand them to me. Yeah? Okay.
Hanging out. That's crap getting old. I can see it, but I have a headache before the day's over, so.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit better.
I see it a lot.
Yeah, that's a little bit better for everybody.
Thank you.
Do we want to take action on a minute?
So Judy, what you would normally say is, are there any changes that anybody?
Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes?
No, I move we accept them.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
all opposed?
All opposed?
Perfect.
The minutes stand approved.
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm the vice president.
The president couldn't be here this evening. Okay.
So I'm punting.
Okay, item number 2 is a recommendation to the township regarding the applicant. There was an executive session at 5:30 to interview somebody for a full-time position. So now the board will discuss to make a recommendation to the township of whether or not they would like to offer employment.
We'll start with Steve Barber. What's your opinion, sir?
I move that we recommend that the township accept an offer to the applicant.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Kathy seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We approve the new applicant.
So Matthew, you'll reach out to him to,
After the
township meeting?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay,
For approval with the new township.
Yep.
Advisory board. Yes, I should have said that.
no, you're fine. We'll get there, Judy. Okay.
Get there.
Item number 3 on the agenda are any employee updates. I do have one update, the life insurance / disability policy. It fell off of the radar of NFP, so I had followed up with them a couple of times and did hear back late last week that they are expecting an August 1st implementation for that policy. Any questions about that?
Refresh our memory on the amounts.
$50,000 of life insurance for each employee. And then the disability that is a part of the life policy is $25,000. And the annual premium, when we got that quote, we were at 4 employees and it was roughly $1,000 annually. So I would expect that to go up a little bit, and that's not per person, that's entire package. And then, do you want to bring up the wages?
So with moving to advanced EMT or advanced service, there is no driver position anymore. So in order for an advanced EMT to act as an advanced EMT, there has to be at least a basic EMT with them. Follow me so far? Because right now before in our wage policy, we had drivers
And we had basic EMTs.
and basic EMTs. So there's not really a need for just a driver line item. However, now that we are at an advanced level, there's a couple of advanced EMTs that are covering part-time shifts. So I think that we need to add in a part-time advanced wage. So currently the basics are at $16 an hour. The full-time guys are at 24 and change an hour. I am not even going to make a recommendation there because I'm one of the advanced EMTs. And so that's not right for me to set that wage or make a recommendation. So, nor is it really.
Yeah, that would be a conflict of interest for me to propose anything.
How many drivers are you losing?
So we had,
One,
3 or 4.
2.
and they're still on the service, obviously, it's just,
Gonna be losing 2 lateral drivers.
Yeah.
2 of them have their EMT. So,
yeah.
so
And assuming that the territory or the township takes the territory's recommendation to hire somebody, there's not gonna be a lot of hours available for part-time people other than vacation, training, sick days, things like that.
Do you have an idea, the going rate in the area? I know in a lot of these situations, it's all over the board, but,
Walkerton's, I'm making $18.78 an hour at Walkerton when I work part-time there, Steve.
How much again?
$18.78 there. That may be higher than some of the other ones just coming on as I've been there more years than others, so I'm not sure what they start people out at that rate. But
Our other part-time advanced person, who is also a volunteer here, is full-time at North Liberty as an advanced, and he has not replied to me to ask what they pay theirs. So, because they're a newer service, kind of like we are, so I thought that might be a little more apples to apples, so. Whatever you guys choose to make that is obviously fine with me, I'm not gonna argue, that's kind of a.
So it's necessary to have advanced,
Yeah, so
so it's something we need to do.
when we went advanced, the state requires us, short of getting a waiver, if we can't cover a shift as an advanced service, we have to get a waiver from the state. And they will do that some, but that's not something you want to get in the habit of doing all the time. So if we had somebody on, get injured, and we had 4 shifts a month that we couldn't cover as advanced, we could probably get a waiver for some of those. But it's not something you want to do all the time.
So 4 24-hour shifts,
Probably.
okay, so
If somebody got hurt, like if you guys hire somebody full-time in the next meeting, then once he starts full-time, we'll have 6 full-time people. So there won't be any part-time people working.
so that's,
Except for
so if we
time
went
off.
from 16 to, say you went to 20, that'd be $4 times 24, $96 more for that coverage, so that's.
Yes. I see what okay, I follow where you're going now.
I'm just trying to get a dollar amount, and then
Yeah.
the frequency,
Well,
vacation time. sick
vacation time, training, sick time.
Classes.
And our salary might not be 100% on par with everybody else, but our paid time off is a pretty good benefit for our folks so we've definitely taken care of them there where we've lacked in a few other places maybe, but so.
so if you don't pay it enough, they're gonna let you know, right?
I would assume somebody will, or they just won't be available. They'll go work somewhere else.
So what would you think if we went from like, we're at 1675 now?
We're
We're at
16.
16 for a basic, and then the full-time people are at 24 and change. Just kind of a gap of so you know where people are making
So
money.
if we went halfway to like 21, do you think, is that snubbing the person?
No, I don't think that's snubbing the person.
not at all.
I wouldn't,
I think it'd be better to do like 19.
19?
That's comparable to another local agency.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just tossing, I want to try to get an idea of a dollar amount per shift and then,
Yeah,
you know. So you could be talking about $10,000 to $12,000 a year.
potentially. But if we don't have a part-time person to cover it, then we're paying one of the full-time people overtime.
Right.
So,
Why don't we just meet it in the middle at 20?
I move to recommend to the township that we do 19.
I'll second that.
All in favor of having 19 an hour, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I guess it is passed for part-time to be at 19 an hour.
Did you have anything else on that?
not
Line
on
item.
wages, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, next item is the employee manual. There have been some necessary changes with going to the 24-hour service. There were a few things that needed to be implemented based on that, as well as conversations with the attorney about things that we want to make sure that we have included in the manual. So I've printed only the changes. So the manual itself is about 50 pages long now. So I didn't want to kill that many trees, so I only printed the pages that had changes. So at the beginning, pages 4 through 6 were specifically to add job duties, because we did not have laid out what their job requirements are, the things that they would be responsible for. So it's quite detailed at the attorney's advice. This was reviewed. So
And the reason for that,
the reason being, which we're going to get to, is in accordance with page 35, the next page after the job duties, is under the Fair Labor Standards Act, under section 7K, firefighters have an exemption for overtime. So overtime does not start at 40 hours for a firefighter. Overtime starts at either 106 hours in a 14-day cycle or 212 hours in a 28-day cycle. The caveat to that being they have to be a firefighter. So somebody who is just an EMT does not qualify for that exemption. So we needed our manual to specify that these are not just EMTs. They are employed as EMT/firefighters, and they are duly certified. So that is hence why there is such a detailed explanation of what their responsibilities are. And then under that recording work hours section, it details the section 7K exemption. Previously, we did have it laid out for 106 hours in a 14-day cycle, but we will actually get a little bit more leeway in terms of paying overtime hours if we adopt the 212 hours in a 28-day cycle. So that would be my recommendation. Questions about that?
I think it's good that you have the duties listed now. I'm sure they can be added to as necessary.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I know when we first started out, like,
What will you, yeah.
without a manual to go by, it was
Yeah.
difficult.
Okay. The next section, so I included page 39 just because at the bottom where it indicates the heading is overtime. So that carries over onto page 40. And that was simply adding another reference to the section 7K exemption, that it would be 212 hours in a 28-day cycle versus the 106 in a 14-day cycle. The compensatory time is something that I've just added. So we did not have anything like that indicated in the manual. Many departments in the area use compensatory time in order to, one, not have to pay as much overtime if the employee opts to use compensatory time, but that needs to be capped. So the way it works is if they work 12 hours of overtime and they say, you know what, I would rather take that as comp time, they've just earned themselves essentially 12 hours of PTO time. And it's not paid out at an overtime rate. And they're able to just bank that time. It's completely legal to do this. Again, all of this has gone through the attorney. But we had a discussion about capping the number of hours that they would be able to do that, and we opted for 72. I do think that that's a little bit higher than some of the other areas. If I'm not mistaken, Walkerton's is 48. I had looked that up in the manual that they had sent me.
But it's half of like Plymouth.
Right, yeah.
It's basically 3 shifts. And the reason I felt it was necessary to cap that is because of the paid time off that we are already offering, then you add another 72 hours on top of that. At some point in time, somebody's gonna try and take a month off of work, which is only 12 or 14 days, depending on the month. But it's still 12 or 14, 24-hour shifts that have to get covered somehow.
Who tracks all this?
Yours truly.
Okay. So you're coordinating it with the payroll?
I handle the payroll.
Is it typical to lose accrued compensatory time at the end of the calendar year? Is that typical?
So I was actually reading that. I don't think so.
You indicated you wanted it. That's why I put it.
No, you don't lose it.
Is it use it or lose it?
It's not use it or lose it.
Which I can make that change. I mean, that's not an
The
issue whatsoever.
vacation time,
So you're just, but you're maxing out the maximum you can carry over.
yes.
Correct.
So it is use it or lose it?
Yes, a little bit. And
Could be.
yes. So if somebody wants to use some compensatory time before the end of the year, they can still accrue more.
Right.
But yeah,
I envisioned it being able to carry 72 hours from December into January, February. Now, if you still can't earn any more
correct.
once you have 72, but I guess that's up to you if you guys want it this way or.
We allow sick time to accrue and vacation time, but those are also capped at how many they can carry over.
Vacation accrues.
I think they're
Just the
allowed to
sick
carry
time.
48, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was like sick time, you're allowed to 40.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, I don't know.
I don't know, I've looked at 50 pages of this, guys.
Either way.
And that's why I'm regularly having to refer back to the employee manual, because when you bring new employees on,
So, but you state here, so the township board may authorize the carryover of unused compensatory time into the following calendar year.
yeah, that would be moot if you guys decide that you want to allow it to carry over. That was primarily if they don't have the ability to use it before the end of the year because of schedule constraints. That then you guys could say, okay, we'll go ahead on this one-off situation and let it carry over. But if you want to change the manual to allow it to carry over, we wouldn't need that language.
Were you anticipating action on this tonight?
I would think you could probably take action on all of it except a certain part if you wanted to.
Yeah. No, they can carry 48 hours of vacation time. Yes. I'm not crazy.
And 48 hours of sick time?
Yes.
For some reason, I thought it was one or the other.
I did
Nope.
too.
Nope. Sick time is 2 shifts annually and a maximum of 8 shifts can be accrued. Yes, ideally, the sooner that we implement it, then we are not potentially having to pay as much overtime.
I guess my preference
Don't
is
have to.
that we would table it and see the final version of any modifications you might make to this.
Well, I'd like discussion amongst you guys what you would like those modifications to be, though.
I would like, for me, I would like the compensatory time to carry over from year to year.
But max out.
But maintain the maximum number of hours.
72 hours, so they can't then, in the following year, they can't build another 72 hours until they,
Correct.
okay.
Correct. That's
Okay.
how I feel too.
Makes sense.
That's fine.
Okay. Was that the last of the sections? No. The last section was the vacation leave, adding a paragraph in there that the maximum number of days that they can take off consecutively is 14 calendar days. But that if their next rotation starts, and it's not going to start until the 16th day, that's not going to count against them. That's just the way that the calendar falls.
I'm wondering, since we don't have the full thing, and I appreciate you not printing the whole thing, so, do I recall that there's a provision in there for employees that need extended time off, getting like a leave of absence, in some manner if they need extra time or something? Go through a process to request that or something?
Yes.
Yes. Don't ask me the exact details tonight, but there is,
There's a whole section of
Yeah.
leave of absence
Okay.
in there.
It's also got this section for FMLAs in there too.
Correct.
So that would be covered under both of them.
Okay, thank you. And so I'm just glancing at the very first section there, the duties. I also appreciate the delineation of this. And so I don't think you can avoid it, and I'm sure the attorney has approved it, and that's fine. One of the things I wonder about is how you judge somebody's physical or mental fitness for duty. And I mean, it feels like a little gray area, but I understand. I mean,
It's a little,
seems like language as I've seen before.
Yeah. yeah. And physically, you know, before an applicant ever comes to you, they're going through physical fitness testing. So there is that step one process. And then some of it was just adding the provisions in there that if somebody becomes unfit for duty, that, you know, they need to be reporting that to their supervisor.
Yeah, I would move that we table this until we see a final version of it.
Which is September 16th.
September 16th. Has that been announced? Oh, okay, I couldn't remember.
So the item that you want to see the change, which one is the one that's holding up?
What's holding up, Steve?
I think it was being able to see the compensatory time modifications.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to more thoroughly review what my brief reading of it.
So does that put us past the budget time?
September 16th will be our official budget hearing.
So that could affect that.
I don't, see this and the budget thing is a little bit different.
Yeah, not really, no, because we're still, the budget that we're proposing shouldn't be modified. It's this year's budget that's impacted, but we're tracking just fine for this year's budget.
But there is some of the parts of it above the compensatory time that could affect overtime in the next 2 months.
Absolutely.
So if you table this entire packet, then we have to work off of what.
106 hours in a
Yes.
14-day cycle instead of 212 and 28.
We're talking 1 month, right? September 16th. So,
Month and a half.
August and September.
oh, okay. You can let it die and do something else.
I'm just asking, I want to have a good discussion here, so.
In theory, you could make a motion to approve certain sections and implement that change to the manual, and then other changes we table until the next meeting.
So if we want to see changes, we want to see the final compensatory.
Mhm.
We put together a scenario to say, okay, firefighter has this amount of hours, comes up to the end of the year, wants to carry forward, put the maximum amount.
Mhm.
That's what we're talking about. So the
Okay.
maximum that we carry forward is 72 hours.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
For the comments.
Yeah, for the compensatory time, yeah.
So it's either you want them to be able to carry 72 hours over, or you don't.
Or you don't.
That's all it is.
That's all. Is that right? Is that the difference? I'm just trying to get at, why you want to table this when that would be the only thing that would hold it up.
This is the first I've seen it. I like to read things a little closely. You don't have to.
No, I'm just asking. I'm going through the thought process, Steve. I'm not picking on you. I'm just. Yeah. So we have a motion to.
We have a motion.
Well, you can let it die and
Well, that's-
have us make a different motion.
Why don't you make a different motion, Mr. Davenport?
Okay, I'll do that. I think that we need to move to accept all of this with the exception of the compensatory time. And then for that to be determined at our next meeting. And if the trustee could provide us with some further guidance, and give us a little more time to
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
through any of this, because any of this could be changed at any point in time, but at
Absolutely.
least this moves us forward for scheduling purposes. And, I mean, I think we're still accomplishing the carryover of the 72 hours, which is, I think, important too. So, that's my motion. We'll put that together.
I'll let you put that together before I ask for a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Do I have a second? I'll second it. Kathy seconds it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
So passed.
How did you vote? Did you vote?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
As soon as I have the changes made
Okay.
for the compensatory time, I will send the full version of the manual to everybody. All right, item number 5 is the recommendation to the township regarding the 2027 budget, which I do have up behind me. The only thing that the territory board, though, makes a recommendation on is the territory budget, this is the entire township budget. I have not changed anything within the territory budget since the last meeting.
I move that we recommend to the township that recommend that they adopt or approve the fire territory portion of the budget.
Which this is just proposed at this point. Nothing is final until September 16th when we have the hearing. But this was just like, if you guys want to see any changes ahead of the September 16th hearing, that is what this is for.
So does anything have to be changed for the advance? Okay.
We had talked briefly about the salary ordinance.
That will be
But
for the
that-
township.
Right.
That's for the township,
Yeah.
so.
But that still wouldn't affect the budget.
No.
So,
I'll be second to that recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? So passed.
Okay, trustee update. I've got a couple of things. One, just wanted to give you guys a heads up that the commercial and auto insurance policy went up 21.1% from 2025 to 2026. It went from $20,885 last year up to $25,296 this year. So, ouch. But not unexpected either. That was what we were sort of told the trend was going to be. Then also the lit certified shares were originally set to cease on, and Nicole, please feel free to chime in if I'm wrong on any of this, okay? They were originally set to cease in January of 2028. They are now being extended an additional year. So now they are going to carry through until January 1st of 2029. At which point they will cease on the local level and they will go to the county for the county's determination on, I think, how to allocate the monies. Yeah. So that was just an FYI piece, nothing that needs action, but wanted to let you guys know that those have been extended 1 year. I did provide you all with the printout. Thank you, Steve Barber, for creating this chart for us that shows what we have collected in billing monies since we started collecting billing monies in 2025. So the orange line on the chart is from 2026 and the blue line is 2025. So that way you guys can see what all has come in since we started billing.
Thank you for continuing that.
No problem. Thank you for creating it. I have also provided you with the invoice from McQueen for the ambulance remount. We are expecting to be delivering the ambulance on September 21st. The chassis is now there, I believe, which is why we have the invoice, because we have the agreement that if we paid for the chassis upfront now, instead of waiting until delivery of the ambulance, we got a little bit of a discount, so we figured why not. So currently there is $78,109 due for the chassis. And then the remaining balance, once delivery happens, will be $162,667. I will be bringing this up to the township because it's their action to take. But I'd like to do an encumbrance for the ambulance for it to be budgeted from the 2026 calendar year instead of adding it to the 2027 budget, because we were again trying to keep property taxes down. If we budget for it, then that's going to increase everybody's property taxes. So if we encumber that, we're able to just carry it over from the 2026 budget, but we have to do an appropriation because we, again, did not budget for it in an attempt to keep the budget lower. So I will be proposing an appropriation hearing at the next meeting. And then also, we are able to transfer 5% of our levy from the Territory General Fund to the Territory Equipment Replacement Fund on an annual basis. That's something that we're allowed to do. And I'd like to recommend that we do that prior to the end of the year. So I've done a little bit of looking into what those steps look like. It will be a resolution, and the town also, Kathy, if you want to make a note, the town also has to do an ordinance, both indicating that we're going to do this transfer of money from the Territory General Fund to the Equipment Replacement Fund.
Say 5%.
5%, which amounts, and it's 5% of the levy, not the budget.
Right.
It's 5% of the levy. So it comes out to $40,872. Nothing, again, that we need to do right this second, but it's something I wanted to make you all aware of, that before the end of the year, that is something that we would need to do.
Do we need to make a recommendation to the township?
You can't.
As a body?
You don't have to. Legally, the township is able to do it if the town also says that they're going to do it, but you absolutely can make a recommendation.
I move that we recommend to the township that they do a 5% transfer. Is it? Probably. 5% transfer from the township to the fire department.
Do I have a second?
Can I modify that? It's from the Territory General Fund
Okay.
to the Territory Equipment Replacement Fund, not township funds. It's not the Township General Fund. It's the Territory General Fund.
I agree to that amendment. Who seconded it? You agree to that? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
So Kathy, I will also reach out to Jen to let her know so that the ordinance can be created before the end of the year. I don't think it doesn't have to be done at the exact same time. It's just, we both have to have the same language in our documents.
So the town's portion would be like, another 100,000?
No, and it's not even that they're transferring money. It's that both units of the territory have to have the same, like you both have to have a legal document moving that money.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
That helps offset the cumulative fund deficit.
Mhm.
So,
Okay. I provided you all with a budget summary report. This is a little bit easier to read than when I'm trying to just do a snapshot of the spreadsheet. So it details what has been spent in each budget and what remains, including broken down by each category, percentage used. And then the back shows the overall budget summary. Again, what the total budget was, the $817,200. What we've currently expended, $341,885.72, with $475,314.28 remaining. Just 41.8% of the budget has been spent.
I really appreciate the font size.
Much easier to read, right? Then lastly, I know that Chad also provided the administration work that he did in the month of June, so that way you guys all have that information as well. It shows 58 hours of the month of June were spent on admin work for him.
Then you also have the January 1 through June 30th on the run breakdowns and percent.
Yeah, I was leaving that till good of the order.
I skipped ahead.
That is all I had for the trustee update. So then, good of the order.
Just, the only thing I have is the run numbers from January 1, as Chad just stated, through June 30th. As of today, we're actually at 289, so that's a few extra runs. July's been a little busy. We have trucks scheduled for pump testing tomorrow. So they'll be here doing pump testing, and I know of one valve that needs a little maintenance. The new SCBA's that we bought last year will be getting their annual flow test and certification done this month. I'm sorry, in August 6th. Everything else has been fine that I can think of.
Their service is this month, 30th, I believe it is. CPR devices. Under the
Speak up, Chad, what?
The CPR devices, the Lucases, will be getting their services
Okay.
under the ProCare contract that we have.
Yep.
I believe it's the 30th.
Okay. Is that just a once annually that they service those, or is it?
Yeah, and if we have any problems, they'll come out. but
Okay.
Just once a year.
I think that's it.
How's the tanker? The one that, wasn't that the, or is that the pump that was having some leakage a while back? And how's that holding up?
I don't know which,
In the old engine.
I think that was, yeah, the one from probably a year and a half ago, maybe?
The tank liner replaced on what's your big valve, the duct valve?
that's been fine. Yeah.
Meeting about the leak at the pump that has been fixed. Maybe what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Every time we go out there, there's something else dripping water on the floor. So the fire trucks are all getting run every week, and all of the valves are getting cycled by the full-time staff as part of their daily maintenance. And I really hope that that shows beneficial when pump testing's done tomorrow. With the hard water, those valves sit there for sometimes a month before they get run at the volunteers truck checks are on the second Thursday now. So if it's month to month and those valves get pulled, that lime scale dries up on top of those ball valves, and those ball valves are nylon, kind of a plastic material. And then when you pull them, that lime scale scratches them. So hopefully that they're being moved every week is gonna help us and show beneficial in the pump test. So, but other than that, everything else has been good, other than, like I said, one valve. I've quoted some materials. The two newest employees have gear ordered. Who knows how long that'll take. One of them was a special order set for the lack of size that it is. And they don't give you a discount for
Using
That's
less
all.
material.
Yeah. But other than that, everything else is going good.
Thank you.
Any public comment?
We appreciate everybody coming today. Thank you.
I have a question. What was the overall budget? So it says the total unit budget's gonna be 1,025,200. What was the total overall budget for last year in 2025?
For the entire unit versus just the
Correct.
territory? Pull it up. Probably would have been easier for me to go find the Form 1. $976,400.
And that was assistance, general, and territory.
And territory. Yep.
Okay, because that's different than what I think, okay.
Yep.
From 2025,
Correct.
okay.
That's the 2026 budget. I'm sorry,
yeah,
you're asking
yeah, yeah.
20,
Yeah,
You're-
2026.
okay, okay. Yep.
So it's gone up this year.
The proposed for 2027, yes.
Question.
Oh, yeah, anything else?
I had a question for Nicole, because I know it's early, year and a half early, but what kind of formulation do you think will be used for the redistribution of lit funds?
We are currently working with AIC, which is Association of Indiana Counties, and they have provided an online format for us where we can potentially take and plug numbers in and really work through things. They give us what every entity would need to be whole. Whole would be what they have had in the past. And then it gives us the ability to tweak the numbers. They're going to be setting up what's called must committee meetings. And what those meetings are is where we meet with the entities and sit down, and the entity says, this is what we're looking for. And then, and it's just basically, it's gonna be a public meeting. You'll be getting an invitation. It's a public meeting where it's just kind of opening dialogue and opening discussion. Bremen and Plymouth are actually large enough in population that if they do not, they can actually go out on their own and set their own lit if they would like. Or they can stay and maintain within the county if they want. So that's a decision that they have to make. They get that decision, but once they make that decision, if they decide to go on their own, they cannot come back. So it's their decision, but if they break off and say, we're taking our own, essentially from the trainings and everything, the talks that I've sat through, essentially what it's going to do is between property taxes and lit, the way it's been set up is that there are pies on several tables. So like the county has a table and a pie, the school has a table and a pie, the township has a table and a pie, and they could go essentially to other people's pies and take from their pie. And that's what happened when we set up the territory. We actually, like I say, we as the county lost money and came from ours because of territory. The school lost money because the territory was established. The way that it's going to be set up now is that's gonna stop. You're gonna have your pie and only your pie, and if you wanna raise your taxes, you're gonna be the one who raises the taxes. And so it's gonna be more transparent is what's basically gonna happen. It's gonna have more transparency. If the school needs more money, they're gonna have to do a referendum and it's gonna have to go on the ballot. What they're doing now is every time they take out a debt, they're paying, most of the schools are playing a debt game. So when they take out a debt, then they can lend to get more levy. And so they're playing this game so that they could take bigger shares of the pie. And I guess in some of the schools in like Indianapolis are just deaded out to the max and are taking huge portions. And potentially what they're saying is this is going to make them really take a hard look and say, schools, is this what's a want and what's a need? So the next step is the must committees.
Timeline, do you know what to expect for
It's
that?
happening, I think it's gonna be in September or early October. I don't have a date set yet.
Okay.
Of
this year?
Yes. Tim Harmon is going to be the county council representative. We just voted for him to be our county council representative to lead the must. And then we have to get a date where most people can meet.
Okay.
And so it'll be an invitation to all the townships and go from there, the towns, the municipalities as well.
So in the past, school corporations and even townships could play the debt game to increase. Is that gonna be precluded then? Or it just makes it more transparent?
They're saying that that's gonna kind of go away. Yes. Mhm. We'll see. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
good on paper
I'm
until
just-
it actually
yeah.
gets put and they can still go in and mess with it when they go back in session in January.
Yeah,
Like, it's not a done deal.
Yeah.
Like, but this is what it's projecting right now, and this is what we have, and we have this software program that looks great. We've had a chance to kind of play with it and look at it. But, I mean, again, they could go in and change SB1 all over again.
Well, and I would just think that with the potential merging of townships within the county happening, that just complicates even trying to plan for anything for the future. So,
That could be, yeah. And that hasn't all been like set up for,
Yeah.
there's like probabilities, like they're looking at it, but nothing has been like laid out, hey, these are the townships that are gonna be merged, like we've not seen anything hard yet,
no, I don't think, and we won't until,
probably after session.
yeah.
Thanks.
Any other public comment? Okay. I suppose we could move to adjourn if somebody would like to.
I move to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Steve Barber, thank you. All in favor? So moved.
Okay, I am going to run to the restroom